Some of these pets are based on real mythology. Others can apply mutations no other pet can. And a few of them only work properly for minutes before getting patched. Here are the most interesting pet facts hidden inside Grow a Garden, including details most players never noticed. 1. The bird egg is the first event egg with a hatch time shorter than 4 hours and 10 minutes since the summer harvest event. Egg hatch times quietly define how an event feels. Shorter hatch times create momentum and make the egg feel more approachable, especially during limited events where players don't want to wait an entire day to see results. This change marks a subtle shift toward faster feedback loops in event design. 2. The bird egg is tied for the second lowest hatch time among event eggs. It shares this position with the uncommon egg and common summer egg, while the common egg remains the fastest at just 10 minutes. This places the bird egg in a sweet spot, not instant, but fast enough to keep engagement high. 3. The bird egg is the first egg to contain 2 prismatic pets. Prismatic pets usually feel like singular, once-in-a-while rewards. Having 2 inside one egg instantly elevates its importance and makes every hatch feel more exciting. 4. The blackbird's ability is similar to the ostrich's, granting an age bonus to pets hatched from eggs. Abilities that affect aging tap into one of the game's most long-term mechanics. They don't just boost output, they accelerate progression itself, which makes them quietly powerful. 5. The blackbird can hatch pets up to age 15, while the ostrich is capped at age 10. That extra 5 levels might not sound huge, but in a game where aging compounds over time, it's a massive advantage. It positions the blackbird as a more advanced evolution of the same concept. 6. The Headless Horseman joined the game as the 3rd prismatic tier pet, right after the Kitsune and Corrupted Kitsune. Just like the legendary folklore, the ghostly rider from the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, it rides without a head, but brings chaos wherever it goes. I am quite surprised the devs can put this much thought into capturing that Halloween energy with these details, and it definitely is those little details that count. 7. The horseman was also the first pet that could apply mutations to other pets. On top of that, it's only the second pet that affects pet aging, the first of course being the French fry ferret. It's like the in-game symbol of time catching up with you. 8. The giant scorpion is the 3rd pet to grant an exclusive pet mutation. The others are Headless Horseman and Ice Golem. Exclusive mutations act like signatures. They define a pet's identity beyond visuals. 9. The giant scorpion is/was bugged and does not apply venom, instead showing an error message. Bugs like this are oddly memorable. They create moments where mechanics exist in theory, but not in practice, adding unintended mystery. 10. The Lich doesn't just look powerful, it's got a hunger stat of 100,000, tying it with the tiger and dragonfly for the highest in the game. In Myth, Liches are undead sorcerers who consume souls to stay immortal, so that massive hunger number is actually a perfect lore fit. 11. The bird egg is the 10th event egg to include multiple pets of the same rarity. This design choice smooths out randomness. Instead of one correct pull, players get several equally valid outcomes, making hatching feel less punishing. 12. The rainbow version of the cuckoo is considered a common pet. This flips expectation. Rainbow variants usually signal rarity, but here, color is purely cosmetic, a reminder that visuals don't always equal value. 13. The cuckoo's ability closely mirrors the seagull's. Both activate on lucky harvests, but while the seagull adds 1 extra seed, the cuckoo can produce triple seeds at a lower chance. It's a risk-reward version of the same mechanic. Fewer triggers, bigger payoff. 14. The Chimera is the first pet made from 3 different creatures, the emerald snake, lion, and goat. This fusion gives the Chimera an almost mythological quality, as if it was pieced together in a forgotten corner of the game's world. Each creature adds its own energy, the snake's agility, the lion's strength, and the goat's stubborn resilience. It feels less like a standard pet and more like a creature with a story behind it, the kind you'd expect to find sealed away in a hidden garden temple. 15. The Chimera is the second pet in the game that requires a ritual, after the Lich. Ritual pets create a sense that not everything in Grow a Garden is obtained through normal means. They sit in this quiet, magical category of creatures that demand more than simple hatching. Almost like you're stepping into a different genre for a moment, where ancient practices and rare items unlock living beings. 16. The Chimera's third ability copies the sand snake instead of the emerald snake inside it. This quirk creates an interesting contrast. Despite the emerald snake being part of its body, the Chimera echoes the abilities of a different serpent entirely. It gives the impression that the creature's magic doesn't fully obey the rules of biology, as though the ritual that created it left behind a trace of unpredictable energy. 17. The Chimera Stone is only the second gear in the game capable of spawning a pet when fused. Just like the Lich Crystal, the Chimera Stone feels more like a relic than a standard gear. Items that create pets feel tied to deeper forces in the world, symbols of rare knowledge or long-lost crafting techniques that only appear through major updates or mystical events. 18. The Kodama is one of the 2 pets in the game to have a corrupted version, also known as simply the Corrupted Kodama. And the other pet that has alternate corrupt version is of course the Kitsune. 19. Interestingly, the Kodama is also based on a Japanese yokai. They are spirits in Japanese folklore that live in old and venerable trees. Venerable trees are basically living trees that are respected due to old age, and they also have unique and unusual shape. They may be associated with meaningful historical events or related to cultural practices, and if you try to cut these trees down, you may be cursed. 20. The Kodama and the Corrupted Kodama also have traits that function similar to the raptor. So the Kodama has a 5% chance of a Zen-type fruit getting a tranquil mutation after harvesting it. So looking back, the raptor has an ability called Clever Claws that gives you a 2 to 2.5% chance of your fruit getting an amber mutation after collecting it. 21. Reaper is the 8th divine pet to be bought from a shop, the 7th being Red Panda. 22. The rarest pet that can be obtained in this event is the Kitsune, which you have a 0.08% chance of getting. This does make the Kitsune the rarest pet ever. That basically means it drops once every 1,250 eggs. 23. The Kitsune is also the first prismatic pet, the rarest pet of its own kind. 24. Like the Kodama, the Kitsune pet is completely based on the Kitsune from Japanese folklore, copying every detail. 25. In fact, the model of Kitsune has 8 tails. 26. A Kitsune grows tails every century once it is 100 years old, so this means the pet is over 800 years old. In Japanese folklore, the Kitsune, also known as a fox spirit, grows a maximum of 9 tails. The number of tails is often associated with age and power. More tails means the fox spirit is older and more powerful. 27. The Kitsune also has a approximately 1% chance to apply the Foxfire Chakra mutation when using its ability. This mutation has a crazy times 90 multiplier. 28. The Kitsune and its equal, the Corrupted Kitsune, share the same pet model. 29. The Koi pet is currently the only pet that can have different colors. This makes it the most vibrant pet in the game. 30. Back during the Zen event, in the shop, the Koi's ability description used to actually be different, and it increased the luck of you hatching an egg instead of getting it back. However, in the player's inventory, it would have the same ability as it does now. 31. There actually was a bug before on the Koi's value. If you ask Raphael how much it was valued, he would say 0. 32. Koi variants can sometimes get mixed up, which makes it look like an entirely new variant. 33. The Tanuki's animation and model are based on raccoons. In Japanese, Tanuki literally means raccoon dog. 34. The Tanuki is also a yokai, also known as a supernatural creature, which in Japanese folklore is able to shapeshift. It is actually a popular yokai and is often seen as mischievous. It does have a big belly, a straw hat, and carries a sake jar. 35. The Raiju. In Japanese mythology is a legendary creature associated with lightning and thunder as well as the god Raijin, which makes sense as to why the Raiju has a consistent energetic twitching animation. 37. Before the trading update. In the Tranquil Treasures shop, the Raiju is labeled as divine, while its stats page lists it as mythical. Not sure if it's a bug or a development error. 38. The Raiju will not devour fruit that has been used with the favorite tool. 39. The Raiju's chance at mutating a crop with Shocked during a thunderstorm also applied during the Jandal Storm admin event. This event is of course a special event triggered by the admin, Jandal, where his NPC appears and causes 4 lightning strikes per second for 1 minute, so that's quite a lot of lightning. 40. And another small detail is that the Raiju got changed from a mythical to divine. 41. Like the other Japanese pets, the kappa, in Japanese folklore, is a reptilian, human-looking creature that lives in rivers and ponds. They are mischievous and sometimes harmful, and they are seen with a turtle-like shell, webbed hands and feet, and a dish-like depression on its head containing water, which is believed to be the source of its power. Kappa also love their cucumbers, and they also keep promises. 42. The rainbow blackbird is considered legendary. Color once again overrides expectation. Visual rarity doesn't always equal mechanical rarity. 43. Goldfinch is the second most common prismatic item from random chance pools. Only the beanstalk appears more often. 44. Goldfinch has the highest hatch time among prismatic pets. Longer wait, higher anticipation. 45. Gold Sparkle is the strongest mutation in the game, with a times 500 multiplier that Goldfinch can apply. It's intentionally extreme, the peak of mutation design. 46. Burb is the 5th prismatic pet. By this point, prismatics form a structured tier rather than a novelty. 47. Wind Wyvern's ability mirrors Frost Dragon, but converts Windstruck plants into Gale plants. It trades XP for cooldown acceleration, a different philosophy of power. 48. Okay, while this one isn't a pet, it's an interesting detail. The tree in the center of the Halloween market is a purple version of the Zen tree from the Zen event, and the tree by the witch is a purple version of the tree that the wise old owl was sitting on from the Lunar Glow event. 49. The Reaper became the 8th divine pet that could actually be bought from the in-game shop. The one before was of course the red panda. It is funny how it's tied to death and darkness, but is just casually sitting in the shop waiting for you to swipe your card. 50. The black cat uses the same model as the orange tabby and regular cat, but it's got its own personality. Its fruit size multiplier caps at 2.00 times, no matter how big it gets or how many mutations it has. The devs pretty much have kept it balanced, but it also fits the superstition that black cats always seem to play by their own rule. 51. Woody, one of the pets in this event, is actually based on Dave Bailey's real-life dog. He's the frontman of Glass Animals. That little Easter egg ties into the band's collaboration with the game during this event. And fun fact, Woody is also the only pet in the game whose name doesn't use the word the. He's just Woody. 52. The Tancho is, in fact, a real-life animal. I believe they are known as red crown crane and are one of the rarest cranes in the world. 53. Tanchozuru's trait is similar to the flamingo's trait, as their traits affect fruits within a certain radius, and they meditate. The differences are their designs, how you get them, and their traits affecting fruits in different ways. So the flamingo accelerates fruit growth, and the Tanchozuru mutates fruits into tranquil. 54. So Grow a Garden is known for having lots of different tricks, glitches, hacks. There is a bug where when players do the Nihonzaru bug, their gifting gets disabled because of ineligible to send gift, and sometimes their pets are missing. 55. Nihonzaru's name translates to Japanese macaque, which is a real animal. 56. So there was an active bug that happens when you put 2 Nihonzarus down. What happens is it decreases a certain pet's passive cooldown. This bug has been patched as of the release of the corrupted event. The abilities of the bug pets were reverted back to normal. The bug also can't be done again. It's a crazy bug, and there were other glitches that people used, like significantly increasing a pet's ability. 57. Every Nihonzaru bathes separately. Each one placed down needs a separate hot springs to bathe in a 1-to-1 ratio. Otherwise, it tends to be that the lowest level Nihonzaru will get the spot and be active, creating a bug similar to the one above. Sometimes the Nihonzarus somehow bathe in the same hot spring and the abilities stay forever. It's still unknown if it's fixed or not. This can randomly happen when placing and removing hot springs. 58. The Shiba Inu is based on the developer Nush's dog, which he calls Cadence. 59. The Shiba Inu also resembles the dog or the golden lab, sharing same traits and being man's best friend. 60. Like the dog and golden lab counterpart, it cannot dig up event/limited seeds. And that's everything hidden inside Grow a Garden's pets. Some of these creatures are straight out of real mythology, others quietly bend the game's rules, and a few only existed the way they did for a very short time. If you enjoy this kind of calm, detailed breakdown, there's more coming soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.